Hello and welcome to our second signature sculpt class, this time with 5-pound weights. A little bit spicier than the first one, but I know you can do it. Let's get started. Hello everyone and welcome to the signature sculpt second class of the package. I have a spicy flow for you with 5-pound weights. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm meeting in a seated pose, hands resting lightly on the knees. And if this is a difficult pose for you, just bring those feet away from the body. We'll cross one shin under the other. Start to roll those shoulders over those kneecaps, moving in one direction. And then move the other. We're just jiggling around so we can find those sit bones, wake up the sit bones, and then come back to that neutral spine with our shoulders stacked right over our hips. Drop chin away from chest, and if you feel comfortable, you can flutter those eyes closed. Take a deep breath in and lengthen through the spine all the way up to the crown of the head, anchored through the tailbone. And as you breathe out, can you soften through the pelvis and the hip bones? Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, softening shoulders, softening any part of the body that is touching the mat. And as we turn that focus to breath and lengthening and filling up the belly, letting that breath travel all the way up to the base of the throat. Slowly let it out the mouth or the nose and find yourself centered and grounded on the mat in your space. You're going to explore poses that maybe feel a little sticky to you, and just be okay with that. Modifications for every sculpt class are to drop those weights, to skip reps, and take a break if needed. And as we find our breath, we turn inward and kind of push out any intrusive thoughts. This is our time for self-care. As we focus on that breath, just allows everything else to float away. Let's take one more deep breath in together. And a slow breath out your mouth or your nose. At the bottom of that exhale, we'll blink our eyes open and draw chin to chest. Right ear goes to right shoulder. Tip that head back, left ear to left shoulder. And let's just let this head travel all the way around, moving in a very slow position, slow way here. The next time that right ear's on that right shoulder, just allow it to stay there. You can stay here or extend through that left fingertips, and you can just draw those fingers away from the shoulder, maybe rolling that wrist one direction and the other. Bring that hand to lightly sit on your knees and drop chin to chest. We'll move the other direction, taking these gentle, slow neck rolls. And you'll notice that as we move through our signature sculpt method, I keep coming back to some certain poses. That's just to kind of get you used to some of the poses that we'll do in our signature sculpt class. The next time that left ear's on that left shoulder, just allow it to stay, and you may be feeling a stretch on that part of the neck. You can also extend through right fingertips and circle wrist. Then move the other direction. Let's bring it back to center and stack the head right over that hip. Inhale, circle, sweep arms all the way up. And on that exhale, we'll take just a little back bend here, just feeling the small of the back. Inhale brings us up. And now that right hand comes behind that right hip, left hand on the outside of the right knee. And use that left hand for leverage to kind of open the shoulders a little bit towards that right side. Inhale brings us up. Exhale, let's twist to the other side. So important to warm up during our Sculpt class. Inhale up and then bring those arms out wide. Our right arm is going to come across. Left elbow is going to capture that and draw that shoulder away from the shoulder blade. Let's open and close our fingers. As you can see, I'm doing this facing you. I will soon turn to the side so you can see that side view. We'll go to the other side. And then coming back to center. Let's make our way into a tabletop. I'm going to face this side of the room, stacking our shoulders over our wrists, stacking hips over knees, rock the hips side to side. And if it feels good to kind of roll that spine or take some intuitive movement, yoga is about meeting your body where it's at today. So ask your body, what does it need right now? What is the body calling for? Maybe you've been sitting all day and really need to wake up the spine. Maybe you're just waking up from your sleep and you need to wake up that spine again. Come back to center. A couple cat cows here. On your inhale, drop that belly and lift the gaze, lift the chin. On the exhale, round the spine and pull that belly in with intention. Inhale to cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow last time. Exhale, cat. Bring it back to that neutrality of spine. Now start to walk the hands off the left side of the mat and send the hips back in that right corner. Sink the chest down towards the mat and reach those arms long. Bring it back up. We'll walk our hands back to center and go to the other side. Those hands go to the off the right corner and the hips go left. And you'll feel the ribs stretching apart on the left side, maybe through the side bodies. Bring it all the way back and walk those hands back so that you're in that tabletop pose. All right, let's extend the right toes to the back of the mat. Move front to back on the ball of that foot. I really like to focus on waking up through the back of the legs and warming the back of the legs up. Lift that right leg off the mat, circle ankle. And go both directions. Keeping that right foot flexed, find the pause. Bring that right knee in, but don't set it down. Let's make 3 big fire hydrant circles, moving in one direction. We'll meet at the top and go the other direction, firmly keeping that left hip planted over the left knee. Bring it back to center and send that right foot on the outside of the right hand. Now you can scooch that right knee back, left knee back. You kind of lean forward with the hip and get a lot of length through the under that left leg. All right, keep the left hand planted. Guide that right knee to the side. This is an easy lizard. Or on the sole of the right foot or the knife edge, but this should be a big stretch for you in the front of that left hip. And bring that hand down. Walk it back so the left hip is kind of right over that left knee, and then bring that right knee back to meet it. You can rock and roll again to realign the spine and left toes to the back of the mat. Let's move front to back. You should feel this in the calf. Lift that left leg off the mat, flex the foot, and circle left ankle. The other direction. Bring that left knee and keep the left foot flexed. 3 fire hydrant circles. It doesn't matter what direction you go. We'll get the other side and then go the other direction. Bring that knee in. Now send that left foot on the outside of the left hand. Remembering you can scooch that knee back or just walk it forward. Untuck the toes. A big stretch should be happening in the front of the hips here. Right hand can plant, left hand can guide that knee to the side. This is one of my favorite stretches here to get the hips ready, the legs ready. And then bring that hand down, bring that left knee in to meet the right. Walk those knees in. We're really going to plant those hands. Curl the toes under and lift the knees off the mat about 1 or 2 inches. Let's twist the knees to the side, back to center, the other side, back to center. So we're keeping our knees low, we're keeping our hips low. We're keeping our spine straight. 2 more times each side. Starting to build up the fire. That's what we do in Sculpt. Let's hold here for 3. Little crutch position here for 2. Downward facing dog in 1. Hips go high down dog. So bring those feet hip distance, and if you'd like to take those pedals, make those knee bends as generously as you need to. Spine is long, back of the legs are long, and the crown of the head drops. No better way to warm up those calves, the side bodies. Press the earth away. Should feel pretty good. And walk hands to feet, feet to hands. Meeting in the middle of our mat. Our feet are hip distance apart. So you can keep your hands on the mat, grab opposite elbows, grab biceps. The shoulders are working with gravity to pull those arms down and pull the head down. And that helps us warm up the back of the legs. Shoulders are heavy. Arms are heavy. Come back to center. Bring your hands in front of feet. Take a halfway lift. Very neutral spine, flat back. Draw the shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Now we're going to bring our hands behind us for a reverse swan dive. I like to lead with a heart and chest, arms to ears. Flip the palms and back bend. Inhale back to center. And let's take a swan dive down, hands to the mat. Halfway lift. And fold, walk the hands forward, walk the feet back. We are in downward facing dog again. Come high into toes, roll forward to plank. All right, lift the right foot off the mat. So we have our plank here, keeping the tailbone tucked. Flex the right foot and pulse that heel up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that right foot, that right leg on the other side of the left heel, and then swing it to the side. So we're working about the width of the mat, keeping the shoulders square to the top of the mat. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the right toes down, left toes lift up, flex the left foot, pulse that heel up for 4, 3, take the right knee if you need to, and 1. All right, find that cross behind the right heel. Here's 4, building fire, 3, 2, and 1. Tap the toes down, lower all the way to the mat. Untuck the toes, forehead to the mat. Inhale, head and chest up. Exhale, release that down. Curl toes under. Press up to a tabletop or a high plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. All right, let's get started. I have my 5-pound weights in the corner. They're crossed over each other for safety. Right leg goes to the sky. Bend the knees, stack the hips. So flex the right foot and try to keep the shoulders square to the top of the mat. We're going to lift up out of that outer right knee. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, straighten right leg. Exhale, step it through. Place it between your hands. Walk everything over to the left. Feet are parallel to each other and drop the crown of the head. You can grab opposite elbows, put a big sway between those inner ankles. Just release those shoulders from the back. They should just fall and be heavy. This is one of those moves I'm probably going to cue a lot as we warm up through the back of the legs. Come back to center, bring your hands under shoulders, take a halfway lift. And fold it down, drop the head. Walk everything to the top of the mat, frame out right foot, set that left knee down, straighten through right leg, and send that right heel forward. You can stay here with your hands or walk your hands forward. I like to point and flex. And hold the flex and go deeper. Lift up away from that, roll forward a little bit, grab your weights. All right, we're in this low lunge here. So the right knee is stacked right over that right ankle. Bring the weights by your side. We're going to lift out to a 45-degree angle. Lift straight out. There you go. So as you know in Sculpt, we kind of learn a routine and then we come back to it. 3 more. Here's 3 and 2 and 1. Bring the weights to chest. Always move through the chest for safety reasons. Bring the arms overhead, overhead, lift. This is a tricep action. We keep those elbows close to our temples. Here's 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Hold it down here and pulse. Keep the elbows in tight. Here's 8 and 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift overhead, bring the weights to chest. And you can stay here or you can set those weights down. Keeping the left toes curled under, lift the knee off the mat and tap it down. Lift and lower. So we're straightening through that back leg, building strength in that right quad. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the weights on either corner, plant the palms. Bring right foot back to meet left, we meet in plank. Shift forward 1 chaturanga, cobra or up dog on your in breath, downward facing dog on your out breath. All right, other side. Left leg goes high on your inhale. Bend the knees, stack the hips, flex the left foot. Pull that left heel towards your glute. Invite that right heel a little closer to the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, straighten it behind you. Square the hips. Exhale, step it through, place it between your hands. All right, walking everything over to the right. We're in this prasarita legs again. Let's walk our fingers around so they face the left side of the mat and drop the crown of the head. You can stay here just hanging out or maybe bend one knee and then the other. Moving front to back. Taking full advantage of these active resting poses. Come back to center, hands move under the shoulders, take a halfway lift, and fold. Pivot towards the top of the mat. Set that right knee down, straighten through that left leg. You can stay here with the hands or walk the fingers forward. Again, I like to point and flex. What does the back of the left leg need? Maybe holding the flex. Breathing into that. Bend into that knee. All right, grab your weights, keeping the right toes curled under for stability. Turn the weights so they face that right leg. We're going to lift out at that 45-degree angle and lower. Lift. There you go. Chest is proud. Here's 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring weights to chest. Lift them overhead. Elbows stay in tight. Overhead tricep lift. Here's 5, 4. We end with pulse in 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back in pulse. 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift overhead, weights to chest. You can set the weights down right here or bring them at your heart. Peel the right knee off the mat and tap it down. Lift and lower. I know it's tough. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set the weights down in the corner. Plant the palms. Left foot comes back to meet right. Shift forward to chaturanga, cobra or up dog. Breathe it in. Send the hips high. Breathe it out. Downward facing dog. Right leg goes high. Inhale. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale up. Right to right. I know we're moving faster. You can do this. Right to right. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Send that right leg back. Step it through. Place it between your hands. Grab your weights. All right, signature sculpt move right here, 8 pulses. 8. Then a hover, 4, 3, 2, hover it right here, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten it out, grab the weights. Same thing as we did before. You're lifting out at a 45-degree angle. Chest is open, strong base here, right knee is bent at 90 degrees. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Weights to chest. Lift overhead tricep. So it's a little harder off that left knee, but you can do this. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back and pulse. 8. Hold on to that lunge. 4, 3, 2, 1. Weights to chest. Straighten right leg, pivot, and sit into that warrior 2. We're going to keep the weights at our heart. Pulse that right knee forward. 6. You got it. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Lift the right heel off the mat. Pulse the knee forward. 6. You got it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Set that heel down. Reach the arms out wide. Flip the palms over. Signature sculpt move right here. Pull the elbows in. Don't set them on your waist. Lift chin away from chest. And sometimes holding it is a lot harder. Let's curl it up here. 6, 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Bring the weights to chest, pivot. All right, we're going to press the weights into the mat. Press into right foot, left leg lifts behind you for warrior 3. Grab the weights again and row it up. Elbows go straight up. Here's 6. Keep that left leg lifted. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the weights, pull the left knee and sit it down, and we find a chair pose. Should we pulse right here? 6, 3, 2, 1. Stay right here. Bring the weights to chest. Send them up to 45. Weights to armpits. And as you lean back or pressing back, lift the heels. Armpits forward, armpits back, and lift the heels. Really stay into that chair. Here's 3, and 2, and 1. Stay right here. Set the heels down. We're just going to pulse it up right here. 6, 3, 2, 1. Bring weights to chest. Straighten and fold. They're in the corners. Put a footprint between your feet. Take a halfway lift. And fold. Walk, step, jump back to plank. Shift forward to chaturanga, cobra, or up dog. Downward facing dog. One more side and we hit the mat. You are almost there and you are doing great. Left leg goes high. Left knee, left elbow. And up, left to left tricep. And up, left to left. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Send it all the way back. Now step that foot through. Lace it between your hands. Grab your weights. They start at our hips. Signature sculpt. Pulse. Here it is. Let's go. 7, 6, 4, 3, 2. Hover it right here. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten that right leg out. Lift out to 45. Yep, you know what's coming. 6. Overhead is next. 4, 3. I love repetition. 2, and 1. Bring the weights to chest. Lift overhead. Tricep lift. Are you maintaining the integrity of that lunge? Here's 4, 3. Pulsing back in 2, and 1. Lift it up and pulse. 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring weights to chest, straighten left leg, pivot back foot, and then sit into that again. So we start with our weight at our chest in this warrior 2. Pulse that knee forward. 6, 3, 2, 1. Peel the left heel off the mat. Keep pulsing. 6, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Reach those arms long, warrior 2. Flip the palms over. Pull those elbows in. All right, let's curl. 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring weights to chest. Pivot. Set the weights down, 1 on either side. Pressing the left foot, right leg lifts behind us. Grab the weights and we row it up. Here's 6. Keep that right leg lifted. Here's 3, 2, and 1. Set that right foot down. Here's our chair. We're going to start with a pulse. 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then I'm going to turn to you. This is going to look like this time. Right toes out and then the left. So I'm staying super low in quads. We're still working with chair here. 6, 4, 2, 1. Stay down low. Can you go 3 inches lower for 5? We'll straighten the legs, hands to the mat in 4. Here's 3, 2, 1. Straighten and fold. Set the weights down. Cross them over so no one gets hurt. Put a footprint between your feet. Take a halfway lift. And fold. This time, we'll come high on our toes. Bend the knees. Find yourself in a toe stand. And then roll onto your bottom. Grab the weights, 1 in each hand. So extend the right leg, and we're going to bring the weights together right in front of our heart. We're going to do a variation on a twist. Pull the left leg in as you twist to the left, and then tap that left heel down. Right leg stays straight. Lean back as you pull that left knee in. Send the elbow back. Engage through the core. Here's 6 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's get the other side. All right. Just set that heel down. Left leg extends. We lean back as we send the elbow back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And bring the arms by our side. We're going to pull the knee in, and then we're going to switch it out. So my heels, my legs are off the mat as I curl. You can always set the feet down and just pull the knees in one after the other. A magnification and amplification, so to speak, is to keep these legs off the mat. 6, 5, yes you can. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set the weights down. All right, let go of the weights. Arms reach out, palms face each other. And on your next exhale, roll onto your back. Pull your knees along with you. So I like to hug it out by gathering my fingers together, or maybe using a rag to bridge that gap. If that's just too much for you, just hold them on one hand on each shin and pull them together. Just a little bit of work to do here. So grab your weights, 1 in each hand. Lift the legs up. Actually, we're going to lift right leg up. Reach towards that leg. And then as you bring it down, we're going to reach the other one. So reach and reach. They come back to kind of a tabletop pose. Easy to do this. Harder to find the head and chest. Reaching up. Lead with the chin. Lead with the chest. Here's 8. We end right here. 7, 6. Press straight up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back together. Crush your weights. Set them in the corner and rock side to side by hugging those shins out. Whew, you did it. Plant the feet, cactus the arms on either side of your head, and windshield wipe very gently, slowly, with purpose. Just to kind of give some love to the hips. The next time your knees point to the right, just let them hang out there as your gaze moves left. I'm starting to think about that breath and how you can extend it. Knees up, knees left, gaze right. It starts by taking in some deep breaths and maybe a hold, a suspension at the base of that throat. And then a slow exhale. Bring those knees up. All right, walk those feet together. Let's take a happy baby. So bending the knees, taking hold of those toes or the inside or outside of both feet. See if you can draw those kneecaps down. And then I like to rock my baby. It feels good to move here. What feels good for you? Ask yourself that. Bringing the knees together, place that right knee on top of left. You can pull those shins close to your bottom and let the hands travel down. Touch the feet and pull those footprints down. And you're noticing that slowing of the heartbeat after a difficult ab session, challenging ab section. Pull those knees up, unravel very slowly. Left knee on top of right. Grab the shins and pull them close to the bottom. But let the hands travel down. Catch the feet. Draw those footprints down. And start that deep and even breath. Breathe in through the nose. Take it in deeply. And let it out through the mouth or the nose. Maybe that exhale's a little bit longer. Bring the knees in, place the soles of the feet down, bring the knees out wide so the soles of the feet press together. I like to bring my arms in a low V by my side, but give myself some space between my body and the arms so the body can cool. If you feel comfortable at this point, you can flutter those eyes closed. And notice that rise and fall of the belly as the breath starts to soften. As you lift up that heart space, the lungs as you inhale, the back of the body softens as you exhale. You can stay here. You can extend those heels out towards the top of the mat. Maintain that hip opening by keeping the heels fairly far apart and then feet fall open. The palms of your hands can be down, grounding yourself. The palms can roll open, gathering energy. If you're curious about what your heart and your breath is doing, then bring your hands to your heart and belly. Connect your mind with that breath. You have to feel it to know what's happening. And as you travel through this Sculpt package, you get to know yourself a little bit better. You'll notice that your heartbeat slows down a little bit faster. That heart, that cardio conditioning, such an important part of Sculpt and really the reason why we do it. When you're ready, those hands can move wherever you want them to for your final Savasana. Pull that chin away from chest just to give yourself a little bit more room, that heart space to grow and expand. And we notice the same things as we end our practice, that lift on an extension as we inhale, that softening as we exhale. I'll cue a 30-second Savasana, but you are welcome to just kind of stop the tape, stop this, and just hang out here as long as you need to. Start wiggling your fingers and toes, maybe rocking the balls of the feet back and forth, waking up the body. And walk the heels of the feet together. Bring your hands to prayer. Take a big inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one of the day. Make it the biggest, the brightest. Gather up all that air, energy, positivity, oxygen. Bring it into your heart.